Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode. In this episode, I am going to be showing you how I made this panel full to hold all my electrical wiring and good stuff. I did lose some footage in the very beginning, so we will start out with I'm pre-stretching around the panel for the bead with the English wheel. So what we missed, what I don't have footage of, is laying out the pattern for the template, or the pattern, the lines for the bead. But other than that, everything else is there. So we start out pre-stretching in the English wheel, and then we go over to the bead roller, do the bead, then we go into the shrinker stretcher and shrink the edges down to make it flat again, and then we spot weld in the piano hinge, and then that's pretty much it. But let's get into it. As level as possible, because this is a flat panel. Follow, when you're doing a shape, you follow the shape, and this is flat, so I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible. If you start dropping your edges or going off to the side, you start putting ripples, you'll get waves, and you'll get stop points, which are bumps in your panel. And then you got to work all those out before you go and start on to the next step. If you don't work them out before you go to the next step, then you got to figure it out later how to get rid of it. If you just do it right here in the English wheel, it's better off. Turns out it's faster, it's easier, and it brings a better product, better panel. It's kind of like a dance, just back and forth. Now, I typically don't like to hold my arm out here like this. I typically like to be like this. But since this is such a long panel, and I'm only one person, I don't have another person helping me, I have to hold the edge to hold it up, to give it some sort of support. Now I'm tracking back and forth over my bead line, and then I'll go to the other side and do the same thing and try and stretch it out evenly. The English wheel is a really amazing machine. I really like it. It does such nice work. They are a little slow, but it does amazing work. And it's super quiet. Power hammer is definitely faster, but it's a hell of a lot more money, and it's way louder. All right, I think I got enough. Feels like I got enough stretch in that side. Now I'll do this. I think that's probably good. I was really close yesterday, so I think it's pretty good. So now we will go over and I got the bead roller set up already. I believe it's set up to do the inner line first, which is what I want. I want the inner line to be done first, and then I'll do the outer line. That line's kind of hard to see So I'm gonna get the straight edge and I'm gonna redraw that line. All right, in my garage, it's really tight. So I have to move and rearrange stuff in the garage to where I can use the machine, especially with a long panel like that. So I got it right here. I got full length between the car that way and the toolbox because I have to turn this panel. Now this is going to be difficult with one person. Again, it'd be better if I had two, but hopefully it won't be too bad and we can get this done. Turn it on. Now I got my gap already set like we talked about earlier. So now I'm going to bring it in, and this part is pushing down, the lower die is pushing up. So where the lower die is where the bead's going to be at. So I want, the way it's set up right now, I do the inside line. So the bead will come up on this side of the blue line, not this side, this side. I hope that makes sense. And then when I go to do the outer edge, I'll turn the beads around the dies to where I'll run the same top die on the line and the bead will be on the inside of the line again. So I'm going to line my die up on the bead on the line right after the corner. Bring it down till it touches. Bring my guide in. Bring my guide in. Tighten my guide up. That way I know I got a straight line all the way down. I'm going to turn my speed up a little bit, and then when I get to the corners I'll turn the speed down. Now, so it's touching and it's horizontal. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go, oh crap. Touching. I'm going to go right there's fine. So I went 3/4 of a turn down. You always want to be looking as it's feeding in. You need to keep this edge up against the stop and feed it through. It's better to do these in multiple passes and not just one. So I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 passes. Now this is where it would be nice to have a second body to hold this panel up. Especially when I come up to this corner, which I might end up stopping and now, oh shit, what am I doing? To do the corner, I'm going to take the guide off. Turn my speed down. around the corner and put the stop back up. Okay, that's 2 full passes around. I've gone 1 1/4 turns down. I'm going to do another half turn. So that'll be 2 1/4. Or no. 2 3/4. And then we'll see what it looks like. I think that's going to be the stopping point. I think that looks good. But having the adjustable speed control really makes a difference. Okay, that's 1 full pass. Speed this up a little bit. And we're going to crank it down another half turn. Oh yeah, I think that's the ticket, man. That bead's looking good now. Do have a little bit of distortion coming up on this end down here, but we'll be able to take care of that with the shrinker stretcher after we're done. button. So I just got this bead roller last week, actually. I love this thing. I took Lazze's step 1, step 2 class. By far the best classes that I've taken for this type of work. He's so knowledgeable. And there's other people out there that are just as knowledgeable. I just haven't taken their classes yet. I just can't promote Lazze's class enough. Like, it was well worth it. A great location, Pismo Beach. Can't get any better than that. There it is. Now, I need to go in and shrink this down to get this deformation out. You can see here that this has got a high spot right here. High spot right here. So we're going to shrink these edges because there's too much material there. It pulled from here to bring up this, so there's too much material in here, so it needs to be shrunk down. I initially thought it needed to be stretched out, but I first did that on this panel, this test panel, stretched it, and it just made this worse because it's, think about it, it's just stretching out. It's just gonna make this go whoop. We need it to go woo, woo, down. So I got the shrinking dies on the shrinker already, but the bead itself looks really good. We get the edges shrunk down, get the break in it, and it should be a pretty nice panel. This is a deep shrinker. If I had my foot pedals for the small shrinkers, I would probably use those because those keep it flatter. Those work better for this type of thing. But I'm just gonna start over here and light shrinks, even pressure all the way across. It's better to do light shrinks, multiple shrinks instead of fewer and harder shrinks. And then if this doesn't work, or if I go too far, I'm gonna swap out the dies, put the stretch dies in there, and stretch it back out and to where we need it. Being able to do that, manipulate the metal the way you want it to go, is metal shaping. Look at that on the table. Looks a lot better. This side is up a little bit more. Probably do a little bit more right in there. I think right there. And lift it to force it down a little bit. And then probably gonna do a little bit along this edge. Debating if I need to do some on that edge or not, because that's gonna get broke. It's gonna get bent on the brake. So let's go back to shrinking. Alrighty, now look at it. It's getting down there quite a bit. Almost flat to the table again. I think I gotta do a little bit more there. Might have to do a little bit more all the way around it. But it's getting pretty good. Let's try. Trying to massage it down. Almost did it. I went a little too far. Look at that. The back half is almost laying perfectly flat. Now when I'm pushing down, I'm just doing light pressure, just rubbing it across the wood. Trying to just massage it, manipulate it, not kink it, not bend it, just lightly massage it into place. And like that's pretty damn good. But I think that's probably good enough to put in the brake, and like that's hardly anything. Put in the brake, break that edge. That'll lock it in place, and then whatever I can do, have to do on the edges, it is what it is, and I can hammer and dolly it if I need to. Okay, so I got the press brake set up. I had to move my lower V slot to the 3/8 for 18 gauge. The chart says it needs the 3/8 lower V, so I moved that. From previously, I know I need to have my settings to 2.965 on the Y, on the downstroke, to get 90 degrees. The flare, the length of the flare is 1 inch, so I'm going to set my XP to 1. And then I will do that. Move that to 1. Then I'll go back and I'll set my Y to 2.965. Go. Press the up. And now it'll change. And then I'll get my piece and we'll put it in. Put a little magnetic square on there from Genuine Metalworks. And then I know my piece will be square when I put it in the panel. Now this needs to go that way, so the bead needs to be down. Put it in there. That looks like it's right on the line I had. Boom! Look at that. 90 degrees, baby. Looks good. Now, this thing should fit into the car. Well, let's check it on the table. I'm gonna see what it looks like. Look at that. I think that looks killer. Nope. Dude, I think that's gonna... I like it. I like it. I think it works out. It's gonna work good. Now I'll put a hinge, a lower hinge, down here on the inside, and this will come out and fold down. I just learned a new trick. I can't claim it. I actually seen it on the fabrication series from Justin. I don't know how long ago, but spot welding with the TIG welder. I sacrificed one of my cups and cut a notch in it so the gas could escape. And then I tried it, and by goddamn, it works. I set my amperage to 85, and then gave it a go. So let's get back to it. Setting it all the way down. I got the tungsten just pushed inside so it doesn't touch. That's all she takes. Nice on the backside. I might have even went a little too much, but I can grind that down. Like, that'll be perfectly smooth. Now I'll do the rest of it, spot weld the rest of it in, and then get this thing ready to go into the car. the backside, you got penetration through all of them. So, but I can grind those down and it'll be good to go.